Good morning. Good morning and welcome. First, I would like to welcome family and friends. You have traveled perhaps 30 minutes, perhaps 10 hours, and more to honor and celebrate today's graduates. Over the last few years, you have loved, called, texted, sent money, paid bills, listened sympathetically, and given advice when it was sought and sometimes when it wasn't. You have made today possible. Thank you. Welcome to the faculty, advisors, and administrative staff of Lang. You have mentored, taught, inspired, urged, given tough feedback, spoken honestly, and shared your intellect and passion. You have made today possible. Thank you. And most importantly, welcome and congratulations to the class of 2016. You have, with the help of everyone here and many others, earned a college degree. You have studied long hours, rehearsed, written papers, debated in class, read books and articles, participated in community projects, attended events, held part-time jobs, been persuaded to think differently, helped others to think differently, joined groups of all kinds, and ultimately, we hope, gained a fuller sense of the world and of who you are, what you can do, and what you want to do. Your studies have been diverse, but our core values at Lang and the New School are very clear: restless questioning, critical inquiry, and democratic openness. This DNA was described just last week in an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education about John Cage and his experimental music classes here at the New School in the 1950s. Cage's fellow teachers included Robert Frost, Eric Fromm, Martha Graham, W.E.B. Du Bois, Alfred Kazin, Margaret Mead, and many others. The author of this article, not someone who attended the New School, lamented that too often, education is about success or failure. Not so at the New School. Diving into archives, he reported that for Cage and his colleagues, education was about risk and invention. A bold experimenter in music, John Cage said of his teaching, "I do not want to transmit any body of information. I simply want to stimulate people to experiment." Such learning depends upon human relations. It happens here at Lang in seminar discussions, in silent conversation with the text while reading, in the dance studio, in the professor's office. This kind of learning is also lifelong. Curriculum vitae is the Academy's preferred term for resume. In Latin, it means life's course. Institutions have a curriculum vitae, a life course, made up of those who have gathered together to do work that is bigger than what we can accomplish in a single lifetime. Cage's experimental music classes, and W.E.B. Du Bois's classes in sociology, and Martha Graham's classes, and Margaret Mead's classes in anthropology are part of our institutional curriculum vitae. Their commitment to learning that is radically inventive, open, and restless is part of our curriculum vitae. Equally important, every one of you and every course you have taken is part of Lang's curriculum vitae. So too is the social justice activism of our students. Activism that pushes against our habits and that challenges us to live up to our own ideals. Thank you for joining us and shaping us. Today, I want to take a moment to celebrate and honor Lang professor Robin Mukherjee, who, though still in the prime of his life, passed away suddenly this week. A dedicated mentor to students and an accomplished writer and scholar, Robin taught at Lang 17 years, bringing wit and humility, generosity, and a sharp intellect to his work. I've been gathering his writings for a memorial and reading his curriculum vitae, which lists every course he taught at Lang, including this semester. Robin never taught the same course twice, never. Like Cage, he was not imparting information, he was learning, experimenting, in dialogue with all that he read and with his students. The curriculum vitae of a person, of an institution, is always a work in progress. And at the same time, there are moments when a new line is added to the vita. Today, you add a line, 2016, Eugene Lang College, the new school, BA or BS or BA, BFA. With the new line on your vita, you become an alumnus and join a remarkable community. This year, I met a Lang alum who is a professor of Latin American history at the University of Chicago, and another who is an activist working in Bosnia. Jason Razian, the Washington Post reporter who was released this year after spending 18 months in an Iranian prison, honed his writing here at Lang. Alumni published novels and plays. They are working in media, from Vice to CBS Inside Edition. They are making music, starting businesses, transforming policy as advocates, lawyers, writers, economists, and scientists. One alum wrote to say this about his legal practice: "Most of my clients are indigent. Lang prepared me to see different sides of an argument, and Lang made me feel that I can make a difference in my clients' lives." Another wrote, "My Lang education was essential in shaping my current career as a software engineer. I chose Lang because no math was required, but I ended up taking math and science, even though I was a creative writing major. I left Lang with the confidence that I can teach myself anything. And by the way, I still write fiction and poetry, as well as code." Graduates, your journeys after college, like your journeys here, will not be straightforward. There are no curriculum guides, no boxes to check. But perhaps this last story from an alumni is helpful. She majored in politics and had a passion for urban issues. After graduating from Lang, she did a year in AmeriCorps, and then she interned and worked with congressional representatives in DC and gigged for a think tank. A few years later, she completed a PhD in public health and accepted an appointment at Boston Children's Hospital, where she works on health disparities. Throughout, addressing injustice has been her guiding principle. Social justice, community engagement, creativity, writing well, thinking critically, let no one tell you otherwise, it turns out are lifelong skills. It is an honor to join our curriculum vitae to yours, to be a part of this community, and it is a pleasure to congratulate the class of 2016 on this day of celebration. Thank you.